Unease grips Albany and New York City as the state finds itself at a pivotal crossroads. The air is thick with anticipation, and a sense of urgency pulses through government halls and city streets alike. State officials are bracing for a looming confrontation with the federal government, aware that the decisions made in the coming days could shape the future of millions of New Yorkers. Behind closed doors, strategy sessions stretch late into the night as leaders weigh the risks and consequences of defiance. The Trump administration's promised crackdown threatens not only New York's sanctuary policies, but also the diverse communities they were designed to protect. For many, the stakes are deeply personal. Families, friends, and neighbors now face an uncertain future. This is no mere political theater. State agencies and community leaders are mobilizing with determination, working together to defend New York's core values of inclusion, fairness, and opportunity for all. Meetings are held, alliances are forged, and plans are set in motion. The main fear is sweeping federal immigration enforcement, raids, detentions, and deportations that could tear families apart and sow fear in neighborhoods across the state. Equally alarming is the threat of losing critical federal funding, which supports everything from schools and hospitals to public safety and infrastructure. City officials scramble to assess the potential fallout, knowing that budget cuts could have devastating ripple effects. New York, long at odds with Washington over immigration, is now preparing for direct legal and political challenges to its protections for undocumented immigrants. The state's resolve is being tested as never before. Legal teams are being readied, poring over statutes and precedents, preparing to fight any federal overreach in the courts. Lawyers and advocates are working around the clock, determined to defend the rights of the vulnerable. Local law enforcement is coordinating with city leaders and community groups, seeking ways to balance public safety with the protection of immigrant residents. Trust between police and the communities they serve is more important than ever. Community organizations are on high alert, mobilizing volunteers, providing legal aid, and offering support to those most at risk. Their message is clear: no one will face this crisis alone. The state's preparations are more than just policy. They are a stand for New York's identity as a gateway for immigrants and a bastion of progressive values. The city's history is one of resilience and welcome, and that legacy is now on the line. For New York, this is more than bureaucracy or politics. It's a defense of a way of life, a fight for the soul of the city and the state. Residents from all walks of life are coming together, united by a shared belief in justice and dignity. The message to Washington is unmistakable. New York will not stand by if federal actions threaten its people or principles. The state is ready to fight for its values, its communities, and its future, no matter the cost. Governor Kathy Hochul stands at the forefront, leading a broad and diverse coalition. She brings together law enforcement, business leaders, and activists, forging a united front to prepare for the possibility of federal intervention. Her leadership is marked by a sense of urgency and purpose, as she recognizes the stakes for New York's communities and economy. This is not just about politics, it's about safeguarding the future of the state and the well-being of its people. These aren't routine meetings. They're high-stakes, strategic sessions where every detail is scrutinized. Leaders from every sector are at the table, working late into the night to ensure every stakeholder is ready for any scenario. They're mapping out responses, sharing intelligence, and building trust across traditional divides. Hochul's approach is deeply collaborative. She's making sure local police aren't forced into federal roles that could undermine community trust, while also working with business leaders to protect jobs and economic stability. The goal is to keep New York's communities safe and its economy resilient, no matter what comes next. Activists play a crucial role, keeping the human impact front and center. They remind officials that every policy decision affects real families and neighborhoods, grounding the state's response in the lived experiences and urgent needs of its people. The team is wargaming everything from sudden funding cuts to the threat of federal raids. They're building flexible contingency plans, running simulations, and preparing for rapid response. Every possible scenario is considered and nothing is left to chance. By forging unity across political divides, Hochul sends a clear and unmistakable message: New York's resistance will be broad, determined, and unwavering. The state's leaders are putting aside differences to stand together in defense of their shared values. The goal is to make any federal crackdown as difficult and costly as possible. Every protest, every legal challenge, and every act of solidarity is designed to raise the stakes for those who would threaten New York's autonomy. In this moment, Hochul positions herself as New York's steadfast defender. She's ready to use every tool at her disposal, legal, political, and moral, to protect the state's interests and the rights of its people. The message is clear: New York will not back down. Commissioner Jackie Bray stands at the forefront of New York's tactical response, orchestrating a coordinated effort that brings together city officials, legal experts, and community leaders. Her leadership is marked by a sense of urgency and determination as she navigates the complex landscape of federal-state relations. At the heart of this effort is a carefully crafted three-pronged plan: prevent, delay, and manage. This strategy isn't just theoretical. It's a living, breathing blueprint that guides every action, ensuring that New York is always one step ahead. The first prong, prevention, is all about taking swift and decisive action. New York moves quickly to file immediate legal challenges, aiming to halt federal measures before they can take root. At the same time, officials launch robust public messaging campaigns, rallying support and making it clear that the state will not back down. Behind the scenes, state lawyers meticulously prepare lawsuits grounded in the principles of federalism and states' rights. These legal teams work around the clock, scrutinizing every detail and anticipating federal arguments. Meanwhile, public officials take to the airwaves and social media, highlighting the dangers and unintended consequences of federal intervention and building a broad coalition of allies. If prevention efforts are not enough, the strategy shifts to delay. This means engaging in protracted court battles, leveraging every legal avenue to slow down federal actions. Non-cooperation from state agencies and the creation of bureaucratic hurdles further complicate federal efforts, making progress painstakingly slow. Every day that New York can delay federal intervention is a small victory. These delays buy precious time for political winds to shift, for public opinion to mobilize, and for communities to organize and prepare for what may come next. The third prong, management, comes into play if federal actions proceed despite all resistance. In this phase, the state partners with a network of nonprofits, legal aid organizations, and community groups to provide direct support, offering legal assistance, emergency shelter, and vital resources to those affected. This comprehensive plan is designed to be flexible and resilient, ready to adapt to any scenario. It brings together diverse teams, each playing a crucial role in the larger effort, ensuring that no matter what happens, New York is prepared to respond. Commissioner Bray's approach is proactive and dynamic, allowing New York to pivot quickly as situations evolve. The goal is always to minimize harm and protect the well-being of every resident, no matter the challenge. This layered resistance is not just about defense, it's about endurance. By frustrating and outlasting federal pressure, the state aims to safeguard its values and its people for as long as necessary. In the face of uncertainty, New York stands united and resolute, prepared for a long fight on every front, and ready to defend its future. New York's urgency is fueled by a political earthquake. Zohran Mamdani's stunning mayoral victory. A democratic socialist, Mamdani's platform calls for expanded tenant protections, higher taxes on the wealthy, and stronger sanctuary policies. His win signals a dramatic shift left, energizing young, working-class, and immigrant voters. Mamdani defeated political heavyweights, showing the strength of New York's progressive movement. With a socialist mayor-elect and Trump in the White House, New York City becomes ground zero in America's ideological battles. The Trump administration sees Mamdani as a direct threat, fueling a high-stakes confrontation. This isn't just policy, it's a personal and political war over New York's future. Mamdani's election was the catalyst, turning theoretical risks into immediate threats for both Albany and Washington. For Trump, a socialist mayor in America's largest city is a provocation demanding a strong federal response. For Governor Hochul, Mamdani's unapologetic leftism makes New York a prime target for federal action. The White House now has a visible symbol to rally its base and justify aggressive moves. State officials fear the administration will use Mamdani's policies as a pretext for a broad crackdown. The stakes have never been higher. Planning began the moment the election results were clear. Hochul and Bray know time is short. Defenses must be ready before Mamdani takes office. The race is on to fortify New York before the first federal move. The White House quickly fired back as news of New York's preparations spread. Spokesperson Abigail Jackson dismissed state concerns, instead attacking Mamdani as a communist intent on ruining the city. The administration's rhetoric is calculated, delegitimizing New York's leaders and painting Mamdani as a dangerous radical. By using charged language, the White House aims to define the debate and put opponents on the defensive. Mamdani rejects the label, insisting he's a democratic socialist working within the system for equity. The communist tag is a deliberate mischaracterization, meant to inflame tensions and rally Trump's base. This war of words sets a hostile tone, ensuring future interactions will be contentious and deeply politicized. The battle lines are drawn, not just in policy, but in public perception. The Trump administration frames its actions as a necessary restoration of law and order in cities like New York. They argue progressive policies, bail reform, reduced police funding, sanctuary laws, have led to urban decline and rising crime. New York, under Mamdani, is seen as the ultimate example of failed left-wing governance. The administration claims a duty to intervene, using federal authority to enforce laws local leaders ignore. Confronting New York is also a political opportunity, allowing Trump to rally his base and dominate the news cycle. Threats to cut federal funding and deploy agents are on the table, leveraging Washington's power. For the White House, this isn't overreach, it's a course correction for a city they believe has lost its way. The stage is set for a dramatic federal-state showdown. New York's leaders see the federal crackdown as an existential threat to the city's identity and values. They're defending diversity, inclusion, and compassion, principles at the heart of New York's story. Protecting immigrant communities is central. Sanctuary policies foster trust and safety for millions. A federal assault would shatter that trust, driving vulnerable people into the shadows. Beyond immigration, New York is fighting for its right to self-govern, arguing its policies reflect the will of its people. State officials insist federal intervention violates the spirit of American federalism. For New York, this is about preserving a way of life, resisting pressure to abandon progressive ideals. The city stands as a beacon of tolerance and mutual support, even under threat. The stage is set for a monumental clash, Trump's federal government versus New York's progressive leadership. This is more than policy, it's a battle of ideologies with national implications. New Yorkers face anxiety and instability as raids, funding threats, and political hostility loom. Commissioner Bray's three-pronged plan will be tested with real consequences for millions. The conflict highlights America's deep polarization, with New York City a symbol of resistance and a target for federal power. As the story unfolds, the nation will watch to see which vision prevails. The future of New York, and the country's identity, hangs in the balance.